Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamunatira Vanuchari. Yamunatira Vanuchari. Yamuna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Radhe. Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Paribrajakacarya Ashtotarshata Shri Srimadabhai Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Paribrajakacarya Ashtotarshata Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, and all glories to you, Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna So what verse do we have today? Okay. So we're reading from Canto 10, chapter 68, the marriage of Samba, 1068, text 6. Drishtva Anudhavata Sambo Dhartarashtran Maharathaha Pragrihya Ruchiram Chapam Tastho Simha Ivaikalaha. Drishtvanudhavata Sambo Drishtvanudhavata Sambo धार्तराष्ट्रान् महारथः धार्तराष्ट्रान् महारथः प्रगृह्य रुचिरं चापम् प्रगृह्य रुचिरं चापम् तस्थौ सिंह इवैकलः तस्थौ सिंह इवैकलः दृष्ट्वानुधावत साम्बो धार्तराष्ट्रान् महारथः प्रगृह्य रुचिरं चापम् तस्थौ सिंह इवैकलः. Please chant. Please. Dhavata Sambo. Vaishnavis, please. Društva, seeing, Anudhavata, who were rushing toward him. Samba, Samba, Dhartarashtran, the followers of Dhritarashtra. Maharatha, the great chariot fighter. Pragrihya, seizing. Ruchiram, beautiful. Chapam, his bow. Tastho, he stood. Simha, a lion. Eva, like. Ekalaha, all alone. Translation. Seeing Duryodhan and his companions rushing towards him, Samba, the great chariot fighter, took up his splendid bow and stood alone like a lion. Hare Krishna. I seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis here. May the right words come at the right time, in the right mood of service, glorifying Krishna, purifying our hearts and pulling our consciousness closer and closer to their lotus feet. Vancha kalpat. Vaishnavebhyo namo. So in this chapter, wonderful story of Krishna's son, Samba, is being described. Srila Prabhupada explains in the Krishna book, the start of this chapter, that why was Samba named Samba? Srila Prabhupada explains. He explains that the word Amba in Sanskrit means mother, and Sa means with. This child, right from his childhood, the son of Krishna, he was very much attached to his mother. Sa, Amba, becomes Samba, which means he who would always be found in the mother's arms. So any child who is more attached to the mother and is always found embracing, sitting on the lap, And being with one's mother could technically, grammatically be called samba. Maybe not the same samba, but samba. Samba was the son of Krishna and Jambavati. Jambavati was the daughter of Jambavan. And Krishna's pastimes in Dwaraka are phenomenally beautiful. There's so many twists and turns. Vrindavan is sweet. Dwaraka is sweet, but it's also mixed with so much opulence. Our acharyas describe that the Lord in his feature in Vaikuntha, Dwaraka, Mathura and Vrindavan, he displays 4 different aspects of his personality. In Vaikuntha, it is pure opulence, very little sweetness. You can be a friend to God, you can climb on his shoulders, can't break butter pots, can't speak lies, can't eat dirt, you can't embrace Vishnu. Imagine he's laying down on the snake bed and somebody comes to embrace him. That's an intruder in Vaikuntha. That's breaching privacy etiquettes. Trespassers will be prosecuted. That's Vaikuntha. He can't enter. Jai Vijay are guarding the inner chamber of Lakshmi Narayan. But Dwaraka is a little more intimate than Vaikuntha. There's lots of opulence, like Vaikuntha, but there's also some sweetness, where you see Sudama enters and embraces Krishna. That's not possible in Vaikuntha. Sometimes devotees do say that Sudama was stopped by the doorkeepers, but that's not found in the Bhagavatam. That's not found in Krishna book. Sudama, because he was a Brahmana, he had a natural red carpet entry into any king's kingdom. And then when he entered Krishna's kingdom, Krishna came down and embraced him. It's described Krishna didn't have slippers on his or shoes on his feet. He didn't have a crown. He didn't have an upper garment. They were putting all of that on Krishna, and Krishna saw his friend, and Krishna came running. That doesn't happen anywhere else. That happens in Dwaraka. Now in Mathura, there's as much opulence as Dwaraka and Vaikuntha, but there's so much more sweetness that it doesn't even seem like Krishna is the king. Krishna is dealing with everyone very easy, very casual. But the most intimate dealings are in Vrindavan, where he is chastised, he is bound. His friends think that they're better than him. He proves that he is God every single time, whether it's sipping forest fire. Now, who sips fire? Who drinks forest fire twice? Who dances on the hoods of a water snake? Who lifts up a whole hill as if a child lifts up a mushroom? Who can kill so many demons? Krishna shows the universe in his mouth. He gives so many reasons for the Vrajbasis to believe that he's God, but they won't. It is described by the Acharyas that in Vrindavan, the opulence is much more than that of Vaikuntha. But the sweetness is so much more that the opulence gets eclipsed. So these are the 4 features of the Lord. In Vaikuntha, extreme opulence, very little sweetness. Then the sweetness thermostats increased in Dwarka, even more in Mathura, and complete in Vrindavan, where opulence gets eclipsed and it's only a shower burst of sweetness. So sometimes devotees do ask this question, that if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told us that Krishna in Vrindavan is our goal and Vrindavan Dham is our ultimate destination, then why should we hear the pastimes in Mathura and Dwaraka? This could be a question. If you want to go to California, why would you take a flight to Dallas, right? Why would you? If the ultimate destination is Vrindavan, why spend 40 chapters in Vrindavan, 10th canto, and 50 chapters outside? What is the purpose? Well, those who want to attain Vrindavan, they discuss Mathura and Dwaraka in the mood like how the Brajbasis would discuss. What does that mean? After Krishna left Vrindavan, the residents in Vrindavan, they're all holding hands and grieving and mourning the separation from Krishna. And they're talking about his sweetness. They're talking about life was so wonderful when Krishna was here. And they start speaking about his appearance. They talk about Nanda Maharaj celebrating. They talk about Putana's arrival. They talk about Shakatasura and Trinavarta. They talk about Krishna's childhood pranks. They talk about Damodar Leela. So as we are hearing the 10th canto, we are actually getting an entrance into the discussion of the residents of Vrindavan who are in separation from Krishna. So when we hear even pastimes in Vrindavan, it is discussed by Shukadev Goswami after Krishna departed from this world. So technically, it is the Hari Katha of a resident of Vrindavan, Shukadev Goswami, in separation from Krishna. And similarly, this section is, we are in Vrindavan and we are getting a chance to hear from the lips of the residents of Vrindavan, oh, what would Krishna be doing now? Where would Krishna be? I think he would have gotten married again. I think he would have so many queens. The gopis in transcendental madness and in transcendental envy, they start discussing, oh gopis, oh sakhis, I don't think Krishna remembers us anymore. He would have moved on as a big king. He would have servants. And for all you know, he may have a friend as a brahmana who may come to his kingdom, Sudama. So what we are hearing is actually hearing from the lips of the Brajbasis. And they're saying maybe he would have a queen, maybe another one, maybe Rukmini, maybe Jambavati, maybe Satyabhama. And for all you know, oh gopis, Krishna may even have a son who's more attached to his mother. So this story of Samba that we are hearing, we are not hearing like how the residents in Dwarka are hearing, because they are hearing in meeting. They are hearing, oh, we are talking about Krishna and his family. They are right here. He's the king. So they're discussing the pastimes of Krishna. The residents in Dwarka are discussing the pastimes of Krishna in Dwarka in joy. And the same pastimes, the residents of Vrindavan are discussing in Vrindavan with tears of separation. So that is the mood that we want to inculcate. So not think that, why are we reading the pastimes in Mathura and Dwarka? Well, we are hearing them and reading them in the way, in the mood that the residents of Vrindavan are tasting it. So the whole 10th canto is only the Hari Katha of the residents of Vrindavan who are weeping in separation from Krishna. Oh Sakhi, do you remember the time when Krishna was 6 days old and an ugly Rakshasi, a witch, came in to murder him? Yes, I remember. Krishna as a little innocent baby, he closed his eyes. And I also remember, they're all discussing the pastime of Putana. And do you remember that day when Krishna started crawling? You remember that day when Krishna started walking? Of course. Do you remember the day he started stealing butter? That's the 8th chapter. Sakhi, do you remember when Yashoda tied Krishna up to a wooden grinding mortar? That's the 9th chapter. And sequentially discussing, this is the 68th. So it's a zoom in into the bhavs, into the emotions of the Brajbasis. Now in that mood, let's hear. Krishna's son, Samba, he decides to kidnap Duryodhana's daughter Lakshmana. Quite an interesting story. The same family gets split as Pandavas and Kauravas. Duryodhana has so many problems with Yudhishthir, and he wouldn't even give him, what to speak of 5 kingdoms or 5 palaces. He wouldn't even give him 5 villages. Prabhupada explains that Duryodhana was so envious, he wouldn't even give the land occupied by the tip of a needle when it's pushed into the ground. That's how envious he was. He was ready to poison Bhima. He was ready to set their house on fire. He was ready to disrobe Draupadi. He was ready to kill the 5 sleeping sons of Draupadi through Ashwatthama. Ready to murder Parikshit in the womb. Ready to send Durvasa Muni through the Akshaya Patra, the very famous gift that Surya Dev had given the Pandavas. So Duryodhana, who hated the Pandavas, now it's an interesting story that Krishna was on the side of the Pandavas. His son wants to marry the daughter of Duryodhana, Lakshmana. The interesting twist to the story is Lakshmana had an option of her own. She had a choice that she could pick the boy of her own desire. It's called a Swayamvara. In Sanskrit, the word vara means husband, and Swayam means oneself, or vara could also mean to choose, and swayam means themselves. So that ceremony where the girl has her own choice to pick her own husband is called swayamvar. So different kings, different kshatriyas line up, and the girl has the chance, not you, not you, not you. One gets selected and the remaining 99% get rejected. Samba, the son of Krishna, decided, I'm not going to be part of this selection interview. I'm not going to go through HR interview and technical interview. I don't care about these interviews. I'm going to bag the job by force. He gets into this swayamvar, just like his father. Just like Krishna decided to kidnap Rukmini. The fruit doesn't fall very far away from the tree. So Krishna's son Samba. But we will discuss what's the difference between the two kidnapping. Samba kidnaps Lakshmana. Now the difference is Rukmini wanted to be kidnapped. So it was okay. But Lakshmana did not like Samba. She did not want to marry Samba. But Samba wanted to marry her because she was most qualified, most beautiful, abode of all good qualities. Difficult to believe that she was the daughter of Duryodhana. She was not like her father. And therefore Samba naturally got attracted. She was physically, exquisitely beautiful and a repository of all good qualities. And Samba wanted her as his wife, and he forced himself and dragged her to his chariot and was ready to fight a battle against the whole world, but was not ready to compromise. Lakshmana fought Samba. I don't want to get married to you. He said, no, you're already the chosen one. Swayamvar, Lakshmana said, means I choose. Not that I get chosen. Now it's interesting, when that happened, Duryodhana was furious. Can you imagine? Kidnapping the daughter of Duryodhana against her choice. Duryodhana is like a snake. You just walk past and he hisses. And now this is like stealing. In Vedic culture, in the world of poetry, there's a saying that the snake which is having a diamond or a pearl on its head is a very rare one to find. Which means, of course, we don't find snakes with pearls on top of their head. But in the world of poetry, they say that 1 in 10 million snakes have a pearl on top of their head. So Duryodhana is like that snake. He's a snake who hisses, and his daughter is the pearl, is the diamond. And Samba came to kidnap that diamond and that pearl and that very invaluable jewel. Duryodhana didn't like it. He teamed up with Karna, with Bhishma, with Yajnaketu, with Bhuri, with Shala. All their names are found in the Mahabharata. They were all hand in glove with Duryodhana. They all decided, now we will arrest. May not kill, but maybe we will arrest and we will fight Samba. They started fighting Samba. Samba was extremely powerful. Srila Prabhupada writes, all of Krishna's sons, they carried the beauty, the valor, and the strength and the intelligence of their father. What a great father to have. The Supreme Father, Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki. Samba started fighting. They all started fighting. They, just like it is described, we find the very famous story of Abhimanyu getting caught in a Chakravyuh. He got encircled by the opposite camp. Similarly, Duryodhana, Karna being the commander-in-chief, Bhishma, Shala, Bhuri, Yajnaketu, they all encircled Samba. Samba was all by himself in the middle. And these 6 men, one after another, they started attacking. Thousands of arrows being shot at Samba. The rule was you're not supposed to kill him, but make him wounded helplessly and drag him as a captive back to our kingdom for the offense of stealing our daughter against her will. 4 out of those 6, they killed Samba's horses. 1 killed the chariot driver, and 1 shot and broke Samba's bow. Now Samba was completely captured. All 6 of them, they drag Samba helplessly into their kingdom. Now this news reached the ears of Balaram. Balaram thought, what should we do? I just want to make sure that the news doesn't reach the Yadus. Because on one side you have the Kurus, on the other side you have the Yadus. If they get to know, Ugrasen Maharaj gets to know that Samba, who's their descendant, Krishna is the Yadu dynasty, and Samba is Krishna's son, just like the Kurus got furious that their daughter was kidnapped. If the Yadus get to know that their son is kidnapped or arrested, then there'll be a big world war between these 2 dynasties, just for pride. So Balaram came in as a messenger of peace. He walked into the Kuru dynasty and sent Uddhava as a messenger. Uddhava walked in and said, the very great Balaram has walked in to reconcile for peace. Balaram has walked in as a reconciler, as a messenger of peace. Now at that point, the Kurus, they blasphemed Balaram. They became so furious. How could Balaram take sides with such a coward as Samba? Samba was extremely powerful. He was brave. He was unstoppable. But Bhishma was on their side. Karna was on their side. Extremely powerful. They arrested. Now when Balaram got angry that he was being offended by the Kurus, what happens? We will see in the future when the future speakers in the series follow. But the lesson we learn from this little piece of the puzzle, we find this pattern in Shastra. The same principle again and again. We are like Samba. What does that mean? We are children of God. We are all part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita again and again, Aham bija pradapita. Pita aham asya jagato. I am your seed-giving father, which means we are like Samba. And what do? We walk into the assembly of Duryodhan, which is this material world of Maya. And by force, we try to squeeze material enjoyment. Objects, things, circumstance don't love us like we love them. Just think about it. Our smartphone doesn't love us the way we love our phone. When we are not around, our phone doesn't miss us. We miss our phone, especially it's on 1% and there's no charger. We're running like the gopis trying to search for Krishna in the middle of the night, in the middle of the forest. Where's my phone? Where is my charger? Somebody please, Krishna, Krishna. Like Advaita Acharya Prabhu is calling out for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's advent. Somebody please give me an iPhone charger. My phone's dying. Ganga water, tulsi leaves, please. So Lakshmana here represents objects of this world, things of this world, people of this world, circumstances of this world. And we love them the way they don't love us. They don't reciprocate. Things don't love us. Circumstance don't love us. There are things in our life which we cherish and we very lovingly remember, or we grieve about. But time factor moves on. When a person dies in this world, they don't miss us the way we miss them. Lakshmana did not like Samba the way Samba loved Lakshmana. So Duryodhan represents Maya. And Lakshmana, the daughter of Duryodhan, represents the objects of this world. And we are children of Krishna. Krishna is our father, so we are like Samba. And we force our way to squeeze joy out of circumstances, people, and objects when they don't miss, love, and reciprocate the way we do. And we force our way to squeeze, yes, there is more joy. There is more joy. Definitely there is joy. The objects are telling us, the car, the homes, the cars, the phones, the laptops, they all disintegrate with time. They all deteriorate with time. It's like Lakshmana telling Samba, I don't love you, I don't want you. And Samba is forcing, no, this laptop has been there with me for 5 years. What's wrong? And then when we replace the laptop, Best Buy or whatever, the laptop doesn't care. It doesn't say, I miss my master. My phone, oh, I miss my user. My car, I miss my driver. Never. Cars get sold, homes get sold, and the home doesn't miss us the way we miss our home. The car doesn't miss us the way we miss our car. So now, when we do that, we get entangled in karmic reaction. More enjoyment, more future suffering. More enjoyment, more future suffering. And the interesting thing is, 1% enjoyment, 99% suffering. 99% suffering. Samba just got the joy of kidnapping Lakshmana. That's the only joy he got. But look at how much fighting and war and battle he had to face for that one kidnapping act. So we get attacked by arrows over lifetimes of reactions for trying to squeeze one circumstance or joy out of one circumstance. Think about it. This little finger, how much joy can we get out of this finger? Maybe dressing the deities, maybe writing something, maybe on the harmonium, maybe cutting and cooking. That's it. Chanting. Even while chanting, this finger is out. Very little pleasure through this finger. But how many ways can you torture this finger? You can burn it, you can cut it, you can break it. The ways in which this finger can suffer is so much more than the ways in which this finger can enjoy. Same with our body multiplied 1,000,000 times. So when this happens, when we try to kidnap objects and people and circumstance to squeeze joy, one-sided love in this world, then arrows come in. The 6 come together. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mad, Matsarya. Duryodhan, Karna, Bhishma, Shala, Bhuri, Yajnaketu. They surround us like the 6 defects of the heart. And they are shooting arrows, punishing us for one act in past lives. And we get kidnapped like how Samba was kidnapped in the territory of Duryodhan. We sign up for the cycle of birth and death. We continue to live in Duryodhan's kingdom for all times to come. Who can save us? Balaram, Guru Parampara. Balaram is the only one who feels compassion. Krishna doesn't come, by the way. Krishna doesn't come to save his own son. Interesting. Just like this super soul is next to us. But the super soul doesn't help the jiva when the jiva goes through karma. Imagine our house is on fire, or we are suffering a terminal disease, we are on the ICU bed, or we are having so many problems. We are struggling. Financial problems, physical problems, marital problems. Krishna is sitting as super soul. And we say he's most merciful, but he doesn't come out to help us. Just like Krishna is not coming to help Samba, but it is Balaram who finds compassion and doesn't fight, but comes as a messenger of peace. This is Srila Prabhupada. This is our Guru Parampara, who in the mood of Balaram come. And this is the theme again and again and again. Think about the story of Sita Devi. Sita Devi is like Samba. She gets attracted, just like Samba got attracted to Lakshmana by force. Sita got attracted to a golden deer by force. Now the deer was not attracted to Sita, just like Lakshmana was not attracted to Samba. It was one-sided. And in that attempt, what happened is Sita got kidnapped, like how Samba got arrested. Although Sri Ramachandra, or in this pastime Krishna as the father, is right there, Ram for Sita, Krishna for Samba, but they don't help. They're not able to help. Who fights the battle for Sita? Hanuman. Hanuman comes into the kingdom of Ravana as a peace messenger. And Hanuman represents Guru Tattva. Just like Balaram in this pastime, Hanuman in Ramayana. And it is by Balaram's mercy, it is by Hanuman's mercy, whether it's Samba or whether it's Sita, that they are saved. Another classic example in Gaura Leela, we find the story of Kala Krishna Das. Now, Kala Krishna Das was an associate of Nityananda Prabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took Kala Krishna Das as his personal servant. Kala Krishna Das was taken as a personal servant in South India by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he was a close associate of Nityananda Prabhu, so by Nityananda Prabhu's recommendation, Kala Krishna Das was selected as a personal servant. But now what Chaitanya Charitamrita describes is during the trip to South India, Kala Krishna Das, although so close to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gets allured, he gets tempted, he gets kidnapped by the Bhattadris, by the gypsies, by the women. He gets intoxicated by their beauty and he goes astray. And we see this theme, just like Samba left Krishna just to get Lakshmana, just like Sita Devi left Ram to get the golden deer. We find in this pastime, Kala Krishna Das left Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to get the association of women. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejects him. I don't want a personal servant who gets attracted to women. But who comes to rescue? Nityananda Prabhu. Who comes to rescue in Rama Leela? Hanuman. Who comes to rescue in Krishna Leela? Balaram. And in Gaura Leela, it is Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu accepts Kala Krishna Das when Kala Krishna Das was rejected by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu says, why don't you carry the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Navadvip and tell Mother Shachi how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is doing? Kala Krishna Das becomes an associate of Nityananda Prabhu as a messenger of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes to his mother, Shachi Mata. When Shachi Mata hears from Kala Krishna Das what Mahaprabhu is doing in South India, she finds so much joy. She blesses him. She blesses him. And by those blessings, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepts Kala Krishna Das. Now, to conclude, these are three examples that taught us how not to be. How not to go away from our Lord just by the flickering, fleeting, golden deer-like enjoyment of this world. On the other hand, we find Rukmini. Rukmini, she was away from Krishna. She wrote letters to come close to Krishna. In Rukmini's case, we find her brothers, her father, they all wanted her to get married to Shishupal. So that's like our situation. We are like Rukmini, and our five senses headed by the mind. Who is the mind? Shishupal. And our five senses, like the four brothers and the father, they want the Rukmini in us to get married to the wants of our mind. Give in to what the mind says. The mind says, ice cream. We drive. Baskin Robbins. Racetrack. The mind says, Netflix. The mind says, so many things that we know the mind says. And the senses, they want the Rukmini in us to get married to the mind of Shishupal. But what should we as Rukmini do? We should write letters of prayers to Radha Golokananda. My dear Krishna, when my senses push me to succumb to the desires of the mind, you kidnap me away. Don't let me get married to my mind. And that's when the kidnapping is allowed. Krishna comes and kidnaps the jiva by force and fights Shishupal, the mind, and accepts us as his eternal associate. So when we have Kantimala, you see in Vedic culture, a woman who gets married, she has two signs of her marriage. A sindur on her forehead and a Mangal Sutra on her neck. So for devotees, we have Tilak as our sindur. And we have Kantimala, neck beads as our Mangal Sutra, showing that we want to get married like Rukmini to Krishna. Not literally marriage, which means we want to select. We want to select our team. We don't want to be on Shishupal, mind side. We want to be on Krishna, who is our eternal master. So in this way, through these four pastimes of Samba and Lakshmana, Sita and the golden deer, Kala Krishna Das and the gypsies, and Rukmini and Krishna, we know what to do and what not to do. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gauru Premanande. Radha Golokananda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindanalayataksam Varhavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Kandar Agom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Asa Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Vasyan Vivan Vikayanti Chiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Namam Ishvaram Saksit Ananda Rupam Lasat Kuko Kule Brajamana Yasoda Biyolukala Dvavamanam Param Rishtam Manyatanto Drupja Gopya Biyolukala Dvavamanam Vishwaram Sattato Drupja Gopya Rudam Tamburu Netra Yugam Rijantam Karamboja yugmena saktan katitram. Musfasa kampa trirekanka kanka Sita graivam damodaram bhakti badham Sita graivam damodaram Itrik svalila birananda kunde Swakosam nimajantam ayakpayantam Tvadiye sita jesu bhaktarjitadvam Puna prematastam satta rittivande Puna prematastam satta rittivande Varam deva moksham na moksavadimba Nachanyam rineham bare sadapiha Moksham na moksavadimba Rineham bare sadapiha Idam viva purnata gopala balam Sada me manasya virastam kimanyai Idam viva purnata gopala balam Sada me manasya virastam kimanyai Idam te ambojam anyanta nilar Vritam kuntalar shringharaktascha gopya Ambojam anyanta nilar Vritam kuntalar shringharaktascha gopya Muhushtumbitam bimba raktarharam me Manasya virastam malam lakshya labhai Muhushtumbitam bimba raktarharam me Manasya virastam lakshya labhai Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukkha Jalabdi Magnam Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukkha Jalabdi Magnam Akripa drishti vrishyati dinam bhatanu Grihane samam agyam evyaksi drishyai Akripa drishti vrishyati dinam bhatanu Grihane samam agyam Kuverama jalbada murtaiva yadvat Tvaya mochitau bhakti bhajakritau cha Tvaya mochitau Tatta prema bhaktim svakame prayacha namokshe graho mesti damodareha bhaktim svakame prayacha namokshe graho mesti Namaste studamne spuradipti damne Twadiodarayatha vivasya damne Namaste twadipti damne Twadiodarayatha Namo Radhikaya Twadiyai Priyai Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Tubhyam Namo Radhikaya Twadiyai Priyai Namo Nantalilaya Tubhyam Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe Damodara Radha Damodara Radha Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe Damodara Radha Damodara Radha Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radhe Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radha Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe. To the Supreme Controller, who possesses an eternal form of blissful knowledge, whose glistening earrings swing to and fro, who manifested himself in Gokula, who stole the butter that the gopis kept hanging from the rafters of their storerooms, and who then quickly jumped up and ran in retreat in fear of Mother Yasoda, but was ultimately caught. To that Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances. Upon seeing his mother's whipping stick, he cried and rubbed his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes were fearful and his breathing quick, and as Mother Yasoda bound his belly with ropes, he shivered in fright and his pearl necklace shook. To this Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, who is bound by his devotees' love, I offer my humble obeisances. Those super excellent pastimes of Lord Krishna's babyhood drowned the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy. To the devotees who are attracted only to his majestic aspect of Narayan and Vaikuntha, the Lord here reveals, I am conquered and overwhelmed by pure love and devotion. To the Supreme Lord, Damodar, my obeisances hundreds and hundreds of times. O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for liberation, nor eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon. My only prayers that childhood pastimes may constantly appear in my mind. O Lord, I do not even want to know your feature as Paramatma. I simply wish that your childhood pastimes may ever be enacted in my heart. O Lord, the cheeks of your blackish lotus face, which is encircled by locks of curling hair, have become reddened by bimba fruit due to Mother Yasoda's kisses. What more can I describe than this? Millions of opulence are of no use to me, but may this vision constantly remain in my mind. O unlimited Vishnu, O Master, O Lord, be pleased upon me. I am drowning in an ocean of sorrow and almost like a dead man. Please shower the rain of mercy upon me, uplift me, and protect me with your nectarian vision. O Lord Damodar, in your form as a baby, Mother Yasoda bound you to a grinding stone with a rope for tying cows. You then freed the sons of Kuvera, Managriva, and Nalakuvera, who were cursed to stand as trees, and you gave them the chance to become your devotees. Please bless me in the same way. I have no desire for liberation into your effulgence. O Lord, the entire universe was created by Lord Brahma, which was born from your abdomen, which was bound with a rope by Mother Yasoda. To this rope I offer my humble obeisances. I offer my obeisances to your most beloved Srimati Radharani and to your unlimited pastimes. Sri Damodar Ki Jai. Sri Gokananda Ki Jai.